You bet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, it's April 7th. Moving right along to our Finance Committee meeting on April 7th. At this time, I will yield the floor to Chairman Keller.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody. Items 1 and 1A on our agenda. Items 1 is consideration of a resolution to authorize the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to execute a grant agreement with the Arkansas Economic Development Commission and for the city to accept and receive said 90-10 matching grant to develop an industrial site on South Elmira Avenue for economic development purposes. And 1A is appropriating the 10% of the 90-10 grant from the 2003 Economic Development Reserve Funds in the amount of $263,940. Move we forward items 1 and 1A to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Mayor, do you have anything you want to talk about on this?
The total expenditure will be the $263,000. Our portion will be the $26,394. So yeah, it's a 90-10. But yeah, this is a grant we've been working on. Ms. Nichols has been working on along with Stephen Hauserman and the Chamber and Economic Alliance for the Elmira property to get it cleaned up and get it ready for. We should have someone that's going to be interested. We've already got some tire kickers that are interested in that property, so hopefully we can get some economic expansion as far as new industry works expansion on some others.
So the grant is $237,546.
$237.
And then our portion is the $236.
The 26,394.
$26,394.
Yeah.
So that's even better.
Yeah.
It's going to cost that much just to clean it? Is that pretty much, is that just to get it cleared?
That's going to be stump it, burn it, smooth it, and hopefully throw some grass at it. I believe so. Yeah, that's what we're anticipating. So,
is there any further discussion on items 1 and 1A? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding items 1 and 1A to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Items 1 and 1A are forwarded. Item 2 is an appropriation. It's appropriated a pass-through from the general fund carryover in the sum of $74,000 to fund the efforts towards local historic preservation via certified local government grant program. It is, I guess, fully reimbursed from this grant.
yes.
I move we forward item 2 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Is there any discussion on item 2?
How are we, how sure are we that we are going to receive funds? Have we already received the funds from the federal government? Like, what's the time
This
frame?
is
Is it a state grant?
a grant funded from the Arkansas Historic Preservation Program. And so we have already gotten the grant agreement signed and everything. This is a yearly program that they do that we apply for.
I know when we got our historic program funds, we kind of got put in a back seat for next year because there wasn't enough money to provide the current year, and so we had to wait a year, so I'm assuming that a lot of different organizations applied for these similar grant funds.
Yes,
so.
but the Certified Local Government Program is actually funded through your state, through the real estate tax. And so that program is actually funded from that. And so it's not at jeopardy of not being funded.
Cool.
Is there any further discussion on item 2? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 2 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 2 is forwarded. Items 3 and 4 we're going to do together. Item 3 is an appropriation from the general fund carryover balance to the sum of $26,912.50 to be used for spring stipends for street fund employees. And item 4 is appropriated from the general fund carryover balance in the sum of $215,886 to fund spring stipend for the general fund department salaries in that amount, the $215,886. I move we forward items 3 and 4 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Is there any discussion on 3 and 4?
What was this amount again, Mayor? I think per employee?
Oh, it'd be 1,000 for full-time and 500 for part-time.
Okay.
This isn't, do we do this every year, or is this just because of like a cost of living?
We did this my first year because there was no cost of living. We weren't able to give a cost of living before, but last year, coming into '26, our budget was tight and we weren't able to do a cost of living increase for any of our employees, and the economy's just really tough right now. We were able to take a stipend out of carryover, but you can't take a raise out of carryover. It has to come out of general fund budget, so.
Any further discussion on items 3 and 4? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding items 3 and 4 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Items 3 and 4 are forwarded. Item 5 is an appropriation from the Sales Tax Capital Fund 07 in the sum of $478,556.52. And this to fund the purchase of a fire station alerting system to be paid out in 3 annual installments. I move we forward item 5 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Any discussion on item 5?
Yeah, can you give some details, Mr. Vick?
Yeah.
So this project is going to, if you've ever been to the new central station, which I guess it's not new anymore, and you've seen that alerting system, the way it alerts from dispatch, well, that system has been out of service for over 2 years. So this not only repairs that system and brings that up, but it also places it in the other substations that they've never had. So since those stations have opened in the early 90s, what alerts them is the radio dispatch to receive. So Station 3 was out for over 1.5 years from a lightning strike to repair everything, Station 2 last year. And so this builds it off the network-based system off fiber, and so it's instantaneous, and so it will actually improve response times by upwards of over 40 seconds for every station. So it's about as game changer as you can get, as far as you can buy all the fire trucks you want, but it's not going to make you faster, but this actually will. And it also has a backup, so if the internet goes down, it goes over the radio, and there's no delay. So it's pretty significant, and combined with the mobile response that you guys funded in February, by the end of the year, we could see upwards of over a minute taken off response times with mobile response and station alerting. So
Why is it 3 payments? Is it just a payout, or is this like a subscription thing?
It's, it's over a 3-year period, so that we didn't stress the Fund 7 because we share that with PD. We felt that was fair. We felt that it would stress the system for that and make it harder for them to complete some of their projects. But the infrastructure we need is immediate. It's in a bad need, and I think the system's been down over 20 times in the last 2 years, which, you know, they're having to carry radios or something like that, and so it's getting to the point where it could be an issue, and we don't want that. So, but yeah, so we felt like it was pertinent to have that over 3 years. We did not have a service plan, but the company has agreed to provide service for that for us over that time period to save it $30,000 a year. So,
after that period, are we going to have to pay a service plan fee every year?
you don't have to, but I think what would be the best for us is to start putting some money back later on to replace equipment as needed on a rotating basis versus trying to do lump sums. That tends to not be very favorable on the back end. So,
Thank you.
I guess maybe this isn't a question for you. I understand why you want to do it in 3 installments, but we're appropriating the full amount, but we're going to pay it over 3 years?
You're going to appropriate the full amount so that we don't have to come back to you and ask for appropriation, but it will come out of this fund next year and the year after.
So we don't have to come back and reappropriate
We don't have to reappropriate. This
For
is
next fiscal
you
year?
won't have to
Okay, cool.
reappropriate.
we
Yeah.
did it with the ladder truck last year, and
Okay.
she had it appropriated, so that money's already there, besides
Right.
the change orders that are coming, and so that way we don't have to keep coming back over and over for the same project.
Thank you, sir. Any further discussion on item 5? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 5 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 5 is forwarded. Item 6 is consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to execute an amendment to the agreement with Blackstone Construction LLC as construction managers to modify the downtown streetscape plan to improve traffic and pedestrian safety, to expand the project in a limited scope, and to add more drainage improvements for the project. I move we forward item 6 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Okay, discussion. Mayor, what can you tell us about this?
This is just a modification of the contract with Blackstone. You've already appropriated the money. It's already been budgeted. The Ritter Communications is the last, am I right? This is Ritter, I believe. Ritter Communications is the last one that we've already worked this agreement out with other utility companies, the same thing that we've done prior to this, but this is just the last holdout of Ritter, and so this will get us through with them. So there's no new appropriations, money's already budgeted, it's just modifying that contract once we have that amount so that we know now we can pay Blackstone, and then they can in turn pay Ritter for their work.
I have a secondary question about the final look of the project. Every intersection, I'm assuming there will be crosswalks. Are those going to be painted? Are they going to be artistic in any way? Are they going to be...
We're going to tag team. You guys going to arm wrestle when you get up here?
No, sir. If Don wants it, I'll give it to him. The project, we will be coming back in the near future for modification again for the final striping of the project because we have...
Hey, Mr. Newman, would you state your name for the people at home? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir, no problem. Glenn Newman, city engineer.
Yeah, Don Erbach, construction manager with Blackstone.
So as you're aware, this project has stages as the projects move forward, and ultimately the striping will be the last portion of the project. I believe potentially next month or next cycle,
Yes.
we'll be bringing a package together with the final striping on it. The plan or concept right now is to have something similar as in a pattern here in town is a brick pattern at each crosswalk to identify all those locations. We're looking at a product that adheres to asphalt, which is thermoplastic, and a different product that adheres to the concrete, which is the MMA material. So that is the plan to move forward with those in the near future.
Does that include like the parking spot stripings as well?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir. Everything that is resurfaced will be striped or thermoplastic MMA to make sure that we adhere to the parking spaces and the crosswalks, stop bars, and meeting all the requirements. And just the duration of the project, this is the time because it was unsure of when we were going to finish. We'll ultimately get the final price. I think it's still within the original budgetary numbers, are very close to it. And I'll let Don speak a little bit more on that. He's the one getting that information.
Yeah, so part of the reason that, twofold, we put the striping out for bid twice, and we didn't get a bidder on it. We have worked with time striping. We went forward with an allowance, and we'll be, I think, well within that allowance to be able to get it done. I think time striping will be the vendor that we use for that. We've had some modifications for the type of materials that we've used in the streets and in the places. So we've added some concrete in some areas for both drainage and also for primarily for drainage, but then also for some of the other places because ADA, and then also we've got some of the substrata material, the undercut that we've taken out is so bad in some of those places we have concrete bridging that. So there's been a little bit of combination that we've worked through. So the original plan that we bid doesn't identify exactly. We have to change some of the details for the type of materials and how it's being striped. In addition, in some of the areas like Boulder where we took out some of those parking medians areas, those will now have thermoplasty on them, so they'll identify so people are not to park in those areas, but instead of having the concrete, they'll have some white striping that will denote that. So those are the little things. So we're having to go back to the engineer to update the plans so that we can then get those. Main Street will be exactly, and when I say exactly the same as it was. The one difference will be there'll be a brick pattern that's thermoplastic that will be essentially melted onto the asphalt that will be put in, and that will be done within, I think, 72 hours of when we actually do that. That's 3 to 4 weeks. whether we have all the final plan done or not, that will get done with when the paving takes place. But hopefully we'll have all this wrapped up and done. We'll come and see you guys and get our money for it and be ready to go.
I asked this a few months ago. I just want to follow up on our ADA parking spots. I know we have them identified. I assume everything is still copacetic with that.
Yes, and we still have the number, and that is actually one of the changes to the original plans as well too. Some of the ADA spots, we've added some, and they've also been moved around, and so that's an additional piece that is the engineers putting together on the striping plan as well.
Thank you.
Do we have an actual finish update?
No, we will have we have some things that are getting very close. We're within, if we don't finish the duct run next week, we're going to go to evenings and work because we're basically in the courthouse right now. So within the next 2 weeks, we should be done with the duct run. We have, if you've noticed, all the poles have gotten shorter. Entergy has moved a good portion of their assets in. They're not finished yet. Some of our timing was very much tied to Entergy as far as getting some of the power. They've been moving along. We've been happy with their progress that they've made downtown. The communications companies, I think Glenn got a number, they're about 30% with Brightspeed right now. They're the largest, have the most facilities downtown. Within the next couple of weeks, they're going to come in, and their plan that we've been told is to work through to the finish. So we're probably looking at 6 to 8 weeks for them to get in. Then we have the other telecoms, Ritter, who's been waiting for their boxes to be finished. Those boxes are now in. You saw their appropriation. They do not have a lot of assets downtown. In fact, it should go fairly quickly when they get in. And then we have Optimum Suddenlink Altice, that's another one, and we are still waiting for their schedule for when they start. So those pieces will be done. The road construction, B Street is the last street to be done. Bowden is finishing up the intersection of Main and, of Arkansas and B Street, which we've adjusted to help with the drainage there because we have a standing water problem. Hopefully that has been taken care of. Then we will have to remove the concrete from Denver to Commerce to Arkansas, and that will get a asphalt. The drive lanes will be in asphalt, and so we'll take that out. Hopefully, we will have less undercut than we think, and because again, that subsurface is not very good soil and has not been very good for packing. Hopefully, we'll be able to find a little bit better, soil in there than we've had so far. And so we're looking there probably the next 2 to 3 weeks, finishing that up. And then it's a lot of the finishing. We've got some adjustments that we have to do with the signals, specific to requirements that we've received from RDOT on ADA requirements. Some of the things that we had plans that were sent to Little Rock, and they were approved, and now we've gotten some updated requirements after they were approved, so we'll have some more stuff to do. That will actually be an item. I believe we have money within our signal budget because we had some allowances for some different kinds of cameras that we didn't have to use. We think we'll be able to use that money as we're dealing with the pedestrian buttons and movements. We've got some things like that. So that's why when I say date on that, I have to get a design for those and then get a price for those. So that'll be a little bit, but those hopefully should not be, most of what you're seeing is the finished product should be, up. We're hoping, in the next couple of months. So pretty much be done with most of the heavy construction stuff. But then we still have, signal people have to come in and get rid of some of the bases for the old poles. Those have to come out, then Bowden get in, finish the concrete behind those. So there's just a lot of that, we're just one waiting for the next, and trying to get that coordinated. So
All
we're
right.
definitely final stages.
All right. Thank you. That's awesome. I think we're good.
Is there thank you. Is there any further discussion on item 6? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 6 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye. Those opposed say nay. Item 6 is forwarded. Item 7 is consideration of a resolution accepting a bid from Curb Time Solutions LLC for the 2026 sidewalk maintenance plan for the city of Russellville, Arkansas, and authorizing the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to enter in an agreement with Curb Time Solutions LLC for the 2026 sidewalk maintenance plan for the city of Russellville. I move forward item 7 to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Any discussion on item 7?
Where's the primary work on this one at?
This is East B to 4th Street on Detroit, isn't it? It's that connector. There's a connector between B Street there at the overpass on Detroit down to 4th Street.
Any further discussion on item 7? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 7 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 7 is forwarded. Item 8 is consideration of approval for the first quarter 2026 reimbursement expenses for the Boys and Girls Club in the amount of $17,177.01. This is submitted by the Boys and Girls Club. I move forward item 8 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Is there any discussion on item 8? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 8 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 8 is forwarded. Item 9 is consideration of resolution resolution of support to apply for and utilize federal aid transportation alternative program, or TAP, or recreational trail program RTP funds for the Sequoia Russell Trail Connection Project. That was a mouthful. I move that we forward item 9 of the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Is there any discussion on item 9? Hearing none. All those in favor of forwarding item 9 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Item 9 is forwarded. Mayor, that's the last item on our agenda, and I yield the floor back to you.
All right, we will adjourn and go directly into planning or agenda. I want to adjourn. And then, how are we up there, Mr. Montgomery? Do we need to change? We're good? Okay, she's going to change a little something here. Oh, we're changing actual clerks. We got to pit stuff. We're changing clerks. Miss Skelton has to leave.
I need to see if there's anybody on there for y'all to talk about. You got the keys?
Thank you, Miss Vaughn, for stepping in. Tell me when you're ready to record. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will reconvene and we will go into Tuesday, April 7th agenda prep. So, Mr. Gray? Yeah. You got your magic numbers?
Is it still 31?
Yes.
10,
10,
22,
22,
26.
26. How'd you do that? But
magic.
no, what I'm saying is they were all ascending. They were not.
And they were all even numbers. So
No, that's true. Okay, all right. It is. It's random. Okay, so I'll get that to Miss Skelton on that. All right. So we Junior, or not Junior, Kenneth. Sorry, Kenneth. You got your Public Works update here.
So Waterloo, 2nd Street, I'd say we're 99% complete. Road is open. We're going through our checklist now. There's a couple little things we're having to correct, but it's open for use. Knoxville main signal still in progress. Prairie Creek, it's still going well. I'll tell you this, over summer break, the bridges are scheduled for demo and installation. Hopefully it's going to work out while school is out. That's our plan. You know, we'll see how it works out. That's all I have. That's it. That's all I got right now.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll
Awesome.
have a lot more next month.
Mr. Olson has something for you.
I got plenty coming, I promise.
Hey, Kenneth, Mr. Olson has a question, I believe.
What'd you find out about the lights on, over there by Hampton Inn?
I have talked to a couple of the owners. I'm still having trouble connecting with two. Once I talk to them, I'll give you a final answer, but I am working on it.
Is it one of those, is one of the owners that vacant lot? I've got her number.
Yes.
Yes, so I do have her number out from that.
I've left messages with a couple of them, and they just are not calling me back,
Okay.
so.
Get with me
I
and
will
we'll
keep trying.
get with me and see where we're at on that.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
Kenneth, I have a question on those bridges, when you demo those bridges. Do we usually give like a notice, like a week or two notice? I feel like that's gonna be kind of a mess. Or like, do we know in advance when that happens?
Oh, yeah, we'll have signs out. We'll be
Maybe,
doing
like, put
social
on
media.
Facebook
Yeah, oh,
and
yes.
Stuff like that? Okay.
Yeah, we will definitely put out something.
I feel like that could be a lot going on. so-
Yes, oh, yeah, we'll definitely,
We're purposefully waiting till school's out, so everything's working on that schedule. So we're getting the utilities. You see a lot of activity in that area right now. There's Brightspeed, Optima, the gas line. Everybody's getting out of our way. But yes, we'll added public notice. We'll work to get that out.
the
But yes,
courier's
there'll
going to
definitely
do a
sign
front page
detours.
article for us.
There you go. We're
Yeah.
gonna have, yep. We'll make sure we're getting there, and as we get a firm schedule, we'll get a little bit closer. But that's the goal and intent. With demo, take a little bit. Around June, we'll have the boxes starting to be set, is what we believe, and finish up before school opens up, get it paved, at least going, traffic going, and there may be some, the head walls and such may still be in construction at that time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got one other quick thing, I promise. I had a constituent email me with a lot of photographs. I sent it to Mr. Duval, and he's already started taking care of it, or trying to, and that is all these wires from whoever it is, Brightspeed, Ritter, Optimum, you pick, in people's yards. They come over to install this was Brightspeed for her. They came over to install and just left stuff everywhere. And it's been there for weeks now. And so thank you, Mr. Duval, for going and starting to suss that out. But we discussed this about a year ago, and we're here again with these wires laying everywhere, tied onto poles, if we're lucky. So if you see those things,
Call.
can we kind of collect this together? And I don't want to put it all on Mr. Duval. It's really not his job to have to go out and do this, but he's going out and doing things that are not his job when it should be our internet providers and whoever, fiber guys, whatever, they need to be doing that, not us.
If we're going out and doing this, can we send them a bill?
I would like to, because
I don't know
Mr.
that
Duval's
we
been
can do
taking
that.
care of this, and it's not his job.
That's a trick question. I don't know.
But if you see those or your constituents,
Yeah.
please let us know so that we can get that taken
Y'all
care of.
let me know.
So,
I'll do what
I
I
know,
can.
but it's still not your job.
yeah.
I understand.
All right, I think that's good. Appreciate it. Coming up, this will be Mr. Wilson's first council presentation. That needs to be 3 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. So
That's an expansion. You've always, it's 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
2 minutes and 2 seconds. I
Yeah.
gave you
So get
58
more
seconds
mon- you
more,
get
man.
more time.
I tell you what. So, oh, come on. Okay. All right. Moving on to item 1, unfinished old business will be consideration for ordinance vacating and abandoning 140 foot of minimally improved section of North Jackson Avenue with an 80-foot right-of-way adjacent to Lot 12 of Block 88 of Lot 7 of Block 89 Jail Center Addition. This is the third and final reading of this. This was from Barrett and Associates on behalf of Clarence Harbor and Armando. We're going to leave it with Armando. And then
Cienfuegos.
Cienfuegos?
Cienfuegos.
Okay, all right. That sounds good to me. Yeah. And then, oh my gosh. Okay, and then new business item 1 is consideration of an ordinance accepting the dedication of right-of-ways and easements to the city of Russellville and the plat of Damascus Road Addition minor subdivision plat for Amy Lynn Place and other places. This is Barrett and Associates of D&T Investments LLC. Is this off that same subdivision where the hunt, is it up in that same area? Yeah,
Good evening.
okay.
It's not. It is, that's a typo. It
Oh,
is
oh,
off
oh,
of Damascus.
Okay,
and
because
it
I
is-
saw, okay.
It is
'cause
a
I saw-
similar scenario in which, to the Amy Lynn place.
Okay,
in
but
which
that
it's
doesn't need,
just-
the Amy Lynn place doesn't need to be in there?
No, it does
Okay,
not.
okay,
No, it does not.
that's what threw me off. Okay, all right. Okay, so we've got that. That's a minor subdivision. That's that's on the Damascus Road area. Okay. And that'll be however many readings. That'll be the first reading of that.
Is everything good with that?
Yes,
See, it came through Planning Commission, okay, Mr. Keller? Okay.
All right. So yeah, okay, I've got another. Okay, see, I've got all this on this other our first.
But this is just like the Amy Lynn one where there just wasn't a dedicated right of way.
Exactly. There was no right-of-way pre-dedicated, so we're dedicating 30 feet from center line of Damascus Road.
Okay.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you. Item 2 is consideration of an ordinance amending the current zoning code for the city of Russellville, Arkansas, adopted by ordinance 2443 for other purposes. This was submitted by the Planning Commission. This is just some modifications to our zoning code. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What are they?
So the first one is a modification to Article 3.23.1, which is our sidewalks applicability section. It is specifically targeting infill development. We've had communication with the development community as well as Mr. Garza, who kind of is our liaison, for lack of a better word, for the Long Range Planning Committee, excuse me. There was concerns about the applicability regarding infill lot development sidewalks. We tried to make a compromise that still requires the infill residential development to build a sidewalk in most cases, but we created also additional carve-outs for certain scenarios in which there's not immediate connectivity or near future connectivity.
So if there's not connected sidewalks and they're gonna plan a subdivision?
No, not a subdivision, just one lot.
Correct.
And I think it's what, 300, if there's not a sidewalk existing within 300 feet, then you're not required to put one.
Correct.
But-
That's what it has been. Yes, correct.
But if it's part of the master plan, there's something that goes through there, then they would.
Correct.
Yeah.
We would consider a master plan as the law, yeah.
Yeah.
Question, this
Yeah.
is not regarding any of that we just talked about.
Sure.
With the Dells, have we had positive interaction?
I believe we
Okay.
have moved in a positive direction. My understanding is that they've updated their business license to reflect the more accurate use type. So we've only had positive interactions since the last time we met with them. So I've been happy with that. One last change on the zoning code updates. There was a definitional change for townhouse and row houses. Previously, it did not require that townhomes or row houses be individually subdivided lots, wall-to-wall construction. So it allowed for multiplex developments to be referred to as townhomes, which would not be accurate per the zoning code.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything for the good of the group or the community?
I do. I know that we have talked kind of openly in meetings like this. We've suggested or we've talked about the Hughes Center and maybe thinking about something new. Or I've been contacted by some local residents about like indoor walking facility. I know that St. Mary's closed their fitness area. I was wondering, is there a way that we could kind of circumvent that facility or enter into an agreement with them?
It's
for
in
that?
the St. Mary's is in a lawsuit right now. That's
For
tied.
that?
That's tied up in a lawsuit
For
for a
that
period of time.
facility?
Yeah, for that
Okay.
that facility's in a lawsuit, and so
Okay.
that's the best of my understanding that's tied up in a
That's what-
lawsuit
okay.
and I don't know how long that will have.
When
that
it
will take.
comes to, and this is obviously a long time down the road, at some point, when we start talking about building a new citizen
Yes.
center, I would like to maybe see if we could get an indoor walking.
Oh, we definitely need that. The
facility.
problem right now is we don't have a permanent sales tax and we can't bond. So, and that's a $30 million project, and without the ability to bond, we just don't have the ability to do that. But hopefully something will come up. We'll pull rabbit out of our hat or something.
Yeah,
something, I don't know.
we can
But
find
yeah,
thir-
we definitely
30
need that.
We can find $30 million
Yeah, 30.
somewhere.
Tucker Coliseum, no more.
I don't know if
It used
they
to be
offer
that it
walking or
wasn't,
not.
and I
She
was
said
told
you
it was
had to
open
be a
again.
student or staff there. She said she called, the lady that called me, Nathan.
You
That was
used to
my
didn't have to be.
idea, and she said you actually have to be enrolled or a student there to use it.
Public facility, there are not any public facilities
Oh, okay. They changed that then. I thought they might have changed that back when the Ferguson unions did.
Well, it used to be, and I called out because I had a constituent call about 2 years ago on this, and so I talked to someone, and they said, yeah, it's back open, but, you know, there used to be signs and...
Yeah.
Because it used to be a thing, and then they took it away because, well, y'all remember what happened, but anyway. But it would be the perfect thing, and I know limited hours, whatever, but yeah, I'd love
It's
to
better
see
than
some
nothing.
partnership with
I think the only thing we got right now is you can walk in the city mall, the old city mall. You can go in there and walk Walmart. Yes, you can walk Walmart. Yeah, go to the Action Alley and walk. So, hey, people do it. People do it. So, anyone else have anything for the good of the group? All right. We will see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We will adjourn. Olson, your bag's getting thinner. I talked to him yesterday morning. I talked to him.